Hello, how are you doing today? My name is Ifeoluwapo. It was really, really nice meeting you. What's your name? Oh, Delapo, how are you doing today? How was work? I hope you have, how was school, sorry. I hope you had a nice day in school. Oh, that's good. Before we start, I want to know what are the things what are your goals for these classes that we are about to start? What are the things you want to learn? What are the things that you're struggling with that you want to work on? Okay. All right. And to know you better, I would like to know your likes and your dislikes. Interesting. You love to travel. Very good. All right. Really, really nice to meet you once again. Like I mentioned, my name is Ifeoluwapo. I hope you can hear me and you can see me. Very good. All right, let's get straight into our class today. Um, our topic for today is phrasal verbs. Are you familiar with the word phrasal verbs? With the with phrasal verbs, sorry. Oh, interesting. So in your own words, can you define what phrasal verbs are? Okay, that's very good. Good job. All right, phrasal verbs. To buttress your definition, phrasal verbs are a combination of verb and preposition or adverb that creates a new meaning, often different from the original verb. So mastering phrasal verbs is crucial for sounding more like a native speaker. When you master, it makes you sound more like a native speaker. It doesn't make you sound like um, you don't know what you're saying. It makes your speaking more interesting to people. It makes you more related to people in your school, your environment. Okay. All right. So think of it like building a new word of two similar ones. For example, the verb look means to what? To say something. But when you add the preposition up to it, the phrasal verbs changes meaning completely. And as in, I need to look up the meaning of the word. So it means to what? To search for information. To search for an information. We add a look and up together, and it means to search for an information. And the individual meaning of look and up does not help you to understand the new meaning. That's how phrasal verb works. The combination of the verb or the preposition or the adverb, when they're separated, have different meanings. So you wouldn't look and hop. No. When they are joined together, when the two words and letters and words are joined together, sorry, it has a completely different meaning. It might sometimes give you an idea of what you want to, but it really doesn't completely give you an idea of what you really need to know. All right. Are you with me? Any questions so far? Good. All right. So another example I want us to look into is give up. What does give means? Give means what? To hand something over, but when combined with up, it means to quit and surrender. You see, it's completely different. To give and up. It means to what? uh, to quit and surrender. So, this is why phrasal verbs can be tricky sometimes for English learners or students that are learning English language. You can always guess the meaning by just knowing the individual words. Sorry, you can't, my bad. You can't always guess the meaning by just knowing the individual words. All right, not to waste our time, what we are going to focus on four target phrasal verbs today. Four target phrasal verbs because we have limited time. We're going to focus on catch up, set up, go over, and in. All right, are you ready? Any questions so far? Good job. All right. The first is catch up. To get the same level as others, use examples like I need. Okay, sorry. Catch up means to get to the same level as others. Use examples like I need to catch up on my homework after being sick, and she is trying to catch up with the rest of the class. It means to what? To get to the point your mates, your siblings, your friends has gotten to, maybe due to some circumstances you were not able to meet up. So it just means to what? To meet up, to catch up to them. All right. So one example is I need to catch up on my homework after being sick. The next is set up. It means what? To prepare or arrange something, meaning it's something you plan for before something else comes up. Something you plan for before something else comes up. So an example of this, we can use an example sentence we can use for set up is, can you set up the laptop for the presentation? Can you set up the laptop for the presentation? And we need to set up our project before the bell rings. All right, let's go to the next one. Go over. It means to review, examine, or check something. As a tutor, as a teacher, when I give my students or my clients an essay or something to write on, before I get their final version for submission, I would encourage them to give me a rough version of what you've done so far. I will go over, meaning I will examine what they need to change, what they need to leave, and what they need to improve upon. So go over to it means to review, to examine, or to check something. And an example we can use is let's go over the main points of the chapter, or the teacher wants to go over our essay before we hand them in. All right, the last target phrasal verb for today is handing to submit a piece of work. For example, handing means to submit a piece of work. To hand in something means to submit, just to submit a piece of work. And what example sentence can we use? Remember to hand in your assignment by Friday. So it's not only for assignment or homework, even at the workplace. There's some projects given a report you're meant to write. So the word can also be used in office spaces. He forgot to hand in his report and he got a bad grade. All right, so handing means what? To submit a piece of work. Okay. All right, so far, any questions so far? All right, let's move on. We're going to work on two class activities today so that I can make sure you understand every phrasal verb we have learned today. Okay, now this one is a role play. I will read this part, you read the second. So should I start? Good. Hi, how are you? I noticed you missed our last section. Did you manage to catch up on the homework? Great. Today I was hoping we could go over the new essay topic. Before we start, I asked you to set up the documents we need on our shared screen. Have you done that? Excellent. I heard the deadline to hand in your essay is next week. So let's make sure we go over the introduction today to make it perfect. All right. Before we move on, let's switch. Now I'll be the student. All right. Okay, you can start. I'm good, thanks. Yes, I managed to catch up on everything. Yes, I've set up a new document for us. All right, so I hope you understand from the role play. Very good. Good job. All right, and the second activity we're going to work on is the fill in the blanks class activity. In this part, you're going to fill in the right phrasal verb into each sentences. Can you do that for me? Good. All right, so let's do the first one. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. I need to dash on my studies before examination. Oh, correct. I need to catch up on my studies before examination. Correct. The second one, can you help me dash the chairs for the meeting? Also correct. It's not go over, it is set up. Can you help me set up the chairs for the meeting? Okay. Right. Third one, number three, sorry. The teacher asked us to dash our homework before we left. Correct. The teacher asked us to what? To hand in our homework before we left. Number four, we will dash the detail of the project during our class. Good. We will go over the details of a project during our class. He missed a week of school, so he has a lot of material to dash. He had a lot of materials to catch up. Good. Don't forget to dash your application before the deadline. Don't forget to hand in your application before the deadline. Correct. Before we start the experiment, we need to dash the lab equipment. Good. We need to set up the lab equipment. Number 8, I need to dash my notebooks from the last lesson so I don't get confused. No, it's not ending. I need to catch up on my notebooks from the last section so I don't get confused. All students must dash their essay to the teachers by Friday. Correct. All students must hand in their essay to the teacher by Friday. Correct. Number 10, which is the last question. The event planner will dash the decoration for the party. Set up the decoration for the party. All right, so before you did so well, so well. I'm very proud. Good job. All right, so before we continue, before we conclude today's lesson, what are the things you've learned from and the 4 phrasal verbs we just worked on? Okay. All right. Interesting. And from now on, how do you intend to start using your phrasal verbs in your sentences, with people, in classes, with your friends, and so on? Okay, that's very good. Good job. All right, good job, Dalapo. I'm really, really happy. All right, to conclude today's lesson, learning phrasal verbs is an important step towards making your English sound more natural and fluent. Remember, because the verb, the preposition or the adverb has a particular meaning, doesn't mean when they come together, it will give the same meaning. Most of the time, it gives a completely different meaning. All right, before we end the class, let's quickly check your understanding. What does it mean to go over something? Correct. To review something. Good. What about to hand in something? Good. To submit a project or a report. Good. Remember, these verbs have specific meaning that are different from their individual words. I just mentioned it now. Different from their individual words. Go over. Go means to move forward, right? While over means what? Above. Means above. So go over means to review. So it's completely different from its individual words. All right. We're done with today's class. How was it? I hope you had a very great class experience. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to ask? All right. I'm really happy to hear that. Okay, so I would give you an assignment, okay, on the four phrasal verbs we worked on today. So for homework, I'd like you to write four new sentences, one for each phrasal verb that we learn. So for catch up, you write four sentences. Set up four sentences. All right. So this time, challenge yourself to use them in context other than school and homework. I know you're a school or homework person, but I want you to use it other than school and homework, sports, kitchen, just social events. Okay. Try and use them in those contexts. All right. So, what are the constraints you might face? Write sentences about a topic you enjoy. So, what are I mentioned your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, and all that. So, like cooking, sport, or gaming. And why should you do this? Because it will help you see how verbs can be used in many different situations. All right, so it helps you understand that verbs are not only used the way we have been taught, but you can use it in different situations, in different sentences, and it makes you look more, it makes you appear more familiar with the language, that you have more understanding of of what you're saying, what you're trying to pass, we're trying to communicate with others. All right. Really nice to meet you, Dolapo, again. Um, we're going to have a class next week. So I first thing I want to say is that I'm happy with the way you participated with the class. You were very active, you were very enthusiastic, and you answered the questions, so many questions well, which I'm very impressed about. And yeah, having a class with you is quite interesting and very, yeah, interesting. I think that's the perfect word for what I'm feeling right now. I hope you have a wonderful day, Talabo. Bye for now.